What's up, guys? Manuel Pedal here in Central Park. Gonna get some laps in tonight. Strictly night ride. I'll try to put the gauges up. Enjoy.
What's up, guys? Manuel Pedal here. This is a training video specifically for road cyclists, novice, experienced, or just kind of getting started with how to train on your own, because that's what I'm doing right here, and also utilizing these skills to ride with groups and stuff like that as well, and maybe even for race day. This is Central Park. This is a night ride. Time is around I want to say 7 p.m. So this is it's pretty late, you know, for riding in Central Park, and I might have been like one of maybe 3 cyclists in this park. Central Park is in New York City. For those of you who don't know, it's also 6.1 miles, a little bit over. 6.1 miles, and it's a beautiful park. Lots of different rolling hills and big climb also that I'm on right now. So just wanted to share this video with you guys. We'll do a full loop around the park. You can see I have all the gauges up. I got power down there on the left with all my watts, which you can see I'm pushing around 350 and up, and I got my RPM on the right, which is my cadence, speed, and I have my temperature. It was a beautiful day. You can see it's like 46 degrees. Really nice out, which we don't really get in winter time here in New York City, so it's very rare. So it's a good day to be out on the bike. I got the course up there on the left as well. I also have distance, as you can see, and I have the elevation gain and my heart rate. The heart rate's not working right now. I don't know what happened there, but it didn't I guess connect. But I'm on the Wahoo. That's my Wahoo Bolt right there. You can I would suggest to use the gauges that are on the screen, the overlays, instead of my Wahoo Bolt right there. Although, I know it's like sticking in your face on the screen. If you want to look at it, go ahead, feel free. Duration is up there on the right. The total length of this video is over an hour. I am not going to post the entire video. Although, if you would like me to, definitely comment below and let me know about that. And first off, guys, give me a thumbs up if you dig this video, and also just give me a thumbs up and comment below as well what you think about the video as I progress through all the training tactics and everything I'm going to share throughout this entire ride. So alright, so we're getting started pretty much here, and just past that big climb. That's one of the bigger ones here in Central Park, although there are a bunch of different rolling hills in Central Park. Central Park, you know, there's no flat roads. There's no flat roads in Central Park. So it's always changing, and if you want to test out your fitness, it's great to be able to do that here in this park. It's a great park if you're local to be able to ride. The times to ride are great in the evening. Early morning is what I usually prefer. And yeah, I just ran through that red light right there, but yeah, I just took that risk. You know, there was no one around. I just proceeded with caution. Normally, you want to probably stop at those lights, but everything was good to go. Cops didn't say anything. I kept it moving, so that's beside the point right here. So spinning the ledge, you can see I'm in the range of 90 to 100 cadence. You want to be in that field when you're riding in the flats, anywhere between 90 to 100. If you're going up hills, you want to be in and around 70 to 80, maybe even 85, 90, just because, you know, and that's seated. You want to do that seated. All right, you want to make sure you could conserve all your energy, and also by spinning and using higher cadence, you'll be able to do that. So I'm always in that range, from 90 to 100. I like to spin to win. I really I'm strong about my opinions on that. Some people beg to differ, but I don't really push the big gears, so I like to spin to win. Beautiful day out again. It's very clear, as you can see, for the GoPro. You can see it's actually picking up a lot of good light here, so everything's came out clean. I was a little worried about that before too, but it's looking pretty good. Now the watts are going to vary because there's lots of rolling hills. My average was 272 watts, and that's what I was pushing, averaging, and it's gonna fluctuate. You're gonna see here I'll push up to 500, 600. I'll drop down to 110, just because I mean it's so many different hills and different types of ways the lay of the land is just like always constantly changing, you know. So looks like my heart rate came back on. You can see that up there. It's 169 beats per minute, so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm actually I feel pretty fresh, and I did 30 miles around this park. So this park is again 6.1 miles. You do the math. That's about four times around the park, I want to say. And I cleared about it was like 29 point something miles. So call it 30. Really good ride for me though. I really feel like I put out a lot of effort during this ride, and one of my goals going in was to not coast. So you know, a lot of pro riders, the difference between the pro and someone who's not is pros, they just keep spinning, you know. They keep spinning during races, they keep spinning during their training, and that's either whether it's going up hills or even in the flats. It doesn't matter. They're always spinning the legs, you know. Always spinning the legs. You do that, you avoid getting fatigue as well. So definitely keep your cadence high. I'm in the big gear right here. I'm riding a semi-compact 52-34 with a 1128 in the rear. That's my cassette range, and I'm pushing pretty fast right now. I'm ranging around 28 miles per hour. You can see a little bit over the limit for Central Park, but there's no one around. What you want to focus on is the road. That person right there on the left was coming in the opposite direction, so you got to look out for that. You also got to look out for raccoons, because raccoons can get in your way. You know, out here in this park, I've had a situation just last week when I was riding, and a squirrel ran underneath my tire and almost took me out. So, you know, the animals, that's one thing, man. They ain't waiting for anybody, you know. They're out there to get it too, just like I am. I'm out here to get my fitness in. They're out there to get some nuts in from some chestnuts from the tree or something like that, on the other side of the road. So yeah, so anyway, the watts, I got the power meters up. I'm psyched that I got all the gauges here. I'm going to be doing videos like this more often. I want to be able to share some training tactics with you guys, especially with power, because with power, it's interesting. I really am psyched on that, the fact that I got a power meter this year. I'm going to be using it more often, and what's great about it is that, you know, you pick a number, man, and you just stick with that number. So you know, if you're riding 300 watts in the flats and you want to push that same wattage on a climb, you can do that. You can even go a little higher, but 300 watts is 300 watts no matter what type of elevation gain. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be the same, and that's the amount of force you're putting down on the pedals. So you get to measure what's cooking in the legs. You know, you get to measure what's cooking in the legs, and if you feel like your legs are getting fatigued, you know, you can back off, spin a little bit, push up the gear a little higher, and you should be good to go. Central Park, it's a busy park. You know, it's a great park too, because there's lots of runners and everyone's out here who's just active. You know, it's like-minded individuals who are out here. Some people you see walking, you see people who are running, there's people who rollerblade, I'm on the bike, you know, and it's just great, you know. And nighttime, it's a great time to ride too. It's a little bit nocturnal, and it's I appreciate it, because often I usually try to get it in really early in the morning, sometimes around 6:30, 7 a.m. But it's been really cold, and the weather's been a little bit unpredictable here this year, and I just kind of been backing off a bit because it's just been really cold out there. Like, for me personally, it just doesn't become fun once it's under 29 degrees, you know, here. So anything over 35 to 40, I'm out there crushing it. When I'm not crushing it on the bike, I'm out there going for runs. I've been doing a lot of rowing as well, and overall fitness, you know, that's like my thing. You know, if I'm not on the bike, I'm moving my body in some way, and I encourage other people to do the same thing. You know, go out for a run, go for a speed walk up some stairs, run up some stairs, just get in some fitness, you know, in any way possible. That way you can be fresh for the new season to come, or you can move into another location that could support your lifestyle. If you want a lifestyle where you want to be able to cycle all year round, then you need to be closer to the sun, you know, at all times. So I traveled quite a bit throughout my years on this earth so far, and I've seen a lot. When I rode a bike across the U.S., I've been to a lot of different places and rode over and pushed myself against different types of terrains and climbed many different mountains and hills. And you know, it's a beautiful world out there, so get out there and travel. I always try to encourage people to do that, to leave town, get out there and explore, you know, be an observer. So feeling good. This is about halfway around the park right now. This is the east side of the park. I started on the top of the park on 110th Street in Harlem. It goes alongside on the west side if you're going downtown, which is the direction of the bike path. So generally you start up and you go down. So it's from 110th Street to 59th Street, and it wraps around on the east side of the park. And that's where I am right now, and I'm heading back uptown. As you can see on that graph on the left side, the course is going up. So this side of the park is a little bit different from the other side. It's a little bit flatter, and there's got one nice long hill that's about to come up right after we pass this light here, which is really nice. So in this particular hill, I like to get as much speed as I can in the big gear, and then what you'll see me do with on my rear derailleur, I'm gonna just jump down to the smaller chainring and just spin it out going up. And I'm seated here. This particular climb, I like to sit down and just spin up. You can see my cadence. I'm gonna just start getting in a little bit of a higher cadence. It already bumped up to 103 RPMs, and you can do the same as well. You might want to spin anywhere between 90 to 100, or you know, if you're being the big dogs, you can push up to 80 RPMs going up this thing. So yeah, it's a good hill. Central Park's a great training ground, you know. So if you ever have the opportunity to visit New York City, bring your bike. That's another thing too. If you're traveling to different cities or different parts of the world, pack your bike in the box and just bring it in, you know, and ride. That person that just passed was also riding in the opposite direction, which is pretty crazy here, especially if you're riding pretty fast. Thankfully, I wasn't, but that's, you know, just gotta take precaution. All right, that's the top of the hill right there. I'm going down. There's a little bit of a descent here, and then it's a little bit of another climb to a rolling hill, and back into a nice straightaway on the east side. Very beautiful park. I love that everyone's out, you know, taking advantage of this weather. You can see the temperature dropped a little bit. We're at 39 degrees right now. So some questions about the light that I have here is that's the Bontrager Flash R City daytime running light. It's a nice little light to have on my handlebar in the front, just to let people be aware that I'm in the scene here. I have one in my rear as well. So nights like this, you want to make sure you got some high visibility. Right now I'm wearing a white helmet. I also have a high vis vest on, and I'm definitely seen. You can see me for sure. So it might be a little annoying for those runners running in the opposite direction, but hey, at least they can see me. You know, it's a little safety first. Feeling pretty good on the saddle. I was really putting in a really big effort during this ride, and we're closing in on 5 miles so far, and I'm just feeling really good, man. You know, I'm in the drops, the weather's nice, and when I'm in the drops right here, I'm in the big gear, so I'm averaging right now, I want to say anywhere between, you can see 300 watts, and it climbs up 250. So I try to stay in that range in the flats. Personally, I like that. But it's also personal preference too, depending on where your fitness is, your fitness level, and how you train. So this particular ride was more so one of my training rides, and I was definitely out here to battle. You know, I wanted to set up a challenge for myself. You know, and I also recommend people do that, is to challenge yourself and maybe have something in mind that you want to accomplish, whether it's banging out like 3 intervals throughout your entire ride. You know, just try to figure out where you want to incorporate that in your training so that you could become a better rider and a stronger rider. I always say to other cyclists that I ride with or who I talk to is to try to do something like 5% better or go a little further, whether it's like than your previous ride. So if you rode like 20 miles, try to ride 25, and if you rode 25, try to ride 30, you know. So keep that in mind, and then your fitness will go through the roof. This little downhill right here, and this little climb right there. It's a little rolling hill, a little roller. At some point, I think on my next loop around the park, I get out the saddle and monster it over that little hill right there. That's a nice little downhill that goes over to the top of that hill. I always like to sprint for that one, just to practice my sprints, you know. You never know, race day. So yeah, we're closing in on the top of the park here. There's a nice downhill that wraps around the park over here on the west side, and going on to the west side from the east. It's beautiful. So that's like technically the north side of the park. You can see there's no one out over here. The upper part of the park it's like could be deserted sometimes. So at night at least. So keep that in mind. But it's also very beautiful. Great time to ride, especially when the weather's nice. So this is one of the descents right here, one of the bigger ones here in Central Park, and you can see I shifted down on my chainring. I'm in the big gear, and I'm going down pedaling. Oftentimes I don't recommend doing this if you're not experienced, but I've been doing this for years. I've been cycling for years, many years, and I sometimes often pedal around corners. And I've learned to do this because I used to ride track bikes. I used to ride fixed gear bikes. And with a fixed gear bike, you pedal all the time. There's no coasting. So you have to learn how to function with cadence, and also learn how to ride with big cadence, and also how to pedal around corners. And that's where I learned how to do that, was through my fixed gear. So sometimes I pretend that I'm on it and never coast. So, and trust me, I've learned a lot from riding fixed gear bikes and translating that to the road bike, and it's given me big gains, that's for sure, in terms of fitness and also becoming a better bike handler. Going up this hill here, I believe I come out the saddle. I downshifted already. Looks like I'm spinning up. Again, if you're going up hills, you want to be in a range of 80 to 90 RPMs. You can even go up 70 to 85 RPMs and anywhere around that neighborhood. And I'm feeling good. Just seated climb. If you want to push yourself, you know, watts to go up once you're out the saddle, but I'm going 385 watts. So I'm comfortable. I'm just taking it easy because I know I'm going to be here for a while. So what I think about when I ride, sometimes I just think about nothing, man. Just focus on the road in front of me. You know, it's a great way to perform active meditation for me, and I encourage others to do the same. So I'm gonna end the video here. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. Subscribe to the channel. Also check out my manual pedal troop ride that's going to be jumping into gear on March 7th. I'll leave a link in one of the annotations on the right side of your screen where you can check it out. And if you're in the New York City area, if you're looking to take your fitness to the next level, definitely sign up for that ride. Just looking to build fitness with like-minded individuals, friendship, and also get out there and explore and ride, push our bodies against gravity. See you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Take care.